This video is brought to you by Answerly, a question platform that pays you for adding high-quality answers on different questions. The users are rewarded in Answerly tokens, which they can easily convert into dollars or any other cryptocurrency by using one of the exchanges mentioned in the description.
With new graphic cards being released every few months, it is normal to be behind the latest release by 2 or 3, maybe sometimes even 5 generations. Good news for you guys, as we've got the perfect racing games for the racer within you. Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we will check out the top 10 racing games for low-spec PCs. If you're new here, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to get the updates whenever we post. Let us begin with Top 10 Insane 2. In Insane 2, you will trek across various types of terrain in different parts of the world. You'll find yourself racing through the eastern plains of Africa, the deserts of North America, mountainous regions in Europe, and even the icy Arctic. Each region has its own hazards and you need to deal with, like the water pits in Africa or just straight up flying off the side of a mountain in Europe. It feels like there was a lot of detail put into the terrain. Even on events that had multiple laps, I couldn't 100% predict the terrain. If you're going the wrong speed and hit the wrong bump in the terrain, you could easily lose control of your vehicle if you aren't careful. Top 9 F1 2013. Featuring all 11 teams, 22 drivers, and 19 tracks from the 2013 F1 season, the game's exclusive F1 licensing remains a key selling point. Codemasters expertly replicate each vehicle right down to the wheel nuts, and whether I opted for Lewis Hamilton's Petronas Mercedes or Fernando Alonso's UPS liveried Ferrari, I was racing the best-looking Grand Prix cars my PC's ever seen. The circuits are similarly well done, boasting levels of detail that will impress even the most demanding F1 O-file, while remaining surprisingly playable on lower-range PCs. Top 8 Flat Out 2. Flat Out 2, a game that betters the original in almost every way imaginable, and most certainly with regards to its handling and physics system. While many of the changes will likely come off as being subtle or evolutionary rather than revolutionary, the end result is that the game is a great deal more refined and fun than the original. Top 7 Blur. Blur is a new style of powered-up racing. The game drops players into heart-pumping racing action with 20 cars on a track, all targeting the finish line and battling each other as they trade paint and collect intense power-ups, including the ability to blast other cars out of the way with huge bursts of energy, boost their speed, and more. Gamers can use offensive and defensive attacks as they battle for the lead and careen through real-world track locations ranging from LA and San Francisco to the streets of Hackney, UK, and the treacherous roads of Barcelona, Spain. Blur isn't the addictive competitive online game that people wanted it to be. Rather, Blur is a palate-cleansing game, the type of experience you pop in for a few minutes with your friends when you're looking for a break between sessions of a game you really like marathoning. If you love a more hardcore racing experience, then the idea of a truly chaotic combat sounds appealing, then Blur might be for you. If you're looking for a fun pick-up-and-play combat racer, then I think you need to go back to Mario Kart, or better yet, pick up the excellent Split Second. Top 6 Need for Speed Carbon. What starts in the city is settled in the canyons as Need for Speed Carbon immerses you into the world's most dangerous and adrenaline-filled form of street racing. You and your crew must race in an all-out war for the city, risking everything to take over your rivals' neighborhoods one block at a time. As the police turn up the heat, the battle ultimately shifts to Carbon Canyon, where territories and reputations can be lost on every perilous curve. Top 5 MXGP. MXGP, the official motocross video game, was the first in a series of racing video games developed and published by Milestone. The game was released worldwide on 18th November 2014 for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, and Xbox 360. Now, with this being the official video game of motocross, you won't be disappointed to discover all the correct riders, machines, and liveries from the real-world sport thrown into the game. Everyone's favorite rider is sure to be represented, from that bloke in the green suit to that other bloke on the red bike. Yes, these are the real deal, and whilst sadly I've not had any of them, it's nice to put a name to a rival, isn't it? Graphically, the game is very good indeed, with the replica bikes looking suitably shiny, and with a vast array of customization that can be actioned both to the bikes and the riders. You can always nail the look you're going for. The sound is bang on as well, perfectly capturing that bee in a tin can buzz of the motocross bikes as they pound round the track. Top 4. Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. NFS Most Wanted is a well-balanced, challenging, and substantial racing game that's worth your while on any system, including this most recent iteration on Xbox 360. It returns the series to its cop-chasing days while incorporating street cars culture and an impressive display of stylized FMV without forgetting the fundamentals. People like to drive sweet-looking fast cars, and they want more than a little freedom. And hey, if there are hot chicks too, all the better. Though this is obviously a racing game, the first most noticeable aspect of Most Wanted is the story and presentation. The game is draped in a crazily chromed out, sepia-toned landscape of industrial structures and populated with heavily bloom-lit FMV characters. Top 3. Colin Mcrae Rally 5. Colin Mcrae has been a regular guest on video game consoles for years now through the legendary rallying series that bears his name. What some racing fans may not know is that the off-road racing series has been a mainstay on the PC for just as long. Colin Mcrae Rally 2005, the franchise's latest iteration, plays just as well as its console cousin with the additional advantage of some gorgeous graphics. The driving model that fans of the series have come to depend on is still rock solid in the PC version of CMR 2005. The game chooses to err on the side of a driving simulation and isn't necessarily a simple pick-up-and-play experience. If this is your first experience with the series, expect to spend a large amount of time off track. This is rally racing after all, where no road surface is taboo. Smooth, asphalt, muddy gravel, and even frozen ice are all an option. Top 2. Burnout Paradise. In Burnout Paradise, your main goal is to complete events and unlock new vehicles on your way to upgrading your Paradise City's driver's license. For Big Surf Island, your progress is measured as a percentage of how many events you win. Each license upgrade requires you to get through a certain number of events to advance. As you progress, you unlock better cars, and other racers become progressively more aggressive and skilled in later stages too. You must respond in kind and learn all of the fastest routes if you don't want to be left in the dust. Events fall into 5 main categories: race, stunt run, markman, road rage, and burning routes for you to explore. And lastly, our top 1 pick, Driver San Francisco. As a game with possibly the most ridiculous and difficult to explain premise of any driving game in history, Driver San Francisco has a lot to prove. It's difficult to see how a racer in which you can zoom out of your own body and temporarily inhabit any car in the road like a thrill-seeking poltergeist is actually going to work. Happily, Driver SF brings you around to its way of thinking within minutes of picking up the controller. After spending half an hour or so playing around with the shift system, you completely understand it and you begin to see just how many new possibilities it opens up. Driver SF sees the return of undercover cop John Tanner and his incarcerated arch-nemesis Jericho, who breaks out of prison and puts Tanner into a coma at the very beginning of the game. From then on, events take place inside Tanner's head, which explains how he's suddenly able to possess innocent denizens of San Francisco on their daily commute to work. Tanner himself initially finds this newfound ability, shifting, as he calls it, as ridiculous and improbable as anyone, sending boy racers leaping off transporter trucks and careening around the city with 6 cop cars in pursuit just for fun. And well, there you have it, the top 10 racing games for low-spec PCs that will turn you into a Fast and Furious driver. And that will be it for today's video, guys. Let us know what you think in the comment section down below.
If you like this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. To learn more about Answerly and Answerly tokens, check out the links in the description.